That's better. I know, I agree with you.
Yeah, Deputy Chief
Where's the sheriff's office? Are they here?
Deputy Chief Brennan. Yeah. Oh, I am on Linden.
May not be here. She has back to school night, and she may or not make it
Okay,
tonight.
so at the moment she's late.
At the moment, she's not here.
Captain Kirby will be accepting Linden. Captain William Kirby. Captain William Kirby.
Is it on there?
Yeah, I put it on that one.
Okay. Then I don't need it on this one.
I'll get this one. Check.
Yeah. We can't start till the clerk sits down. Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk of the Board, kindly call the roll.
Freeholder Carter. Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Hudak. Here. Freeholder Jallo.
Here.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Wright.
Present.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Present.
Chairman Bergen.
Present.
Chairman, you have 8 freeholders present.
Thank you. Would you kindly lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the Board, would you please read the Statement of Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. I would say there are plenty of seats. You don't have to stand at the back if you don't want. If you want to come sit down, that would be perfectly fine. Tonight I'd like to call on freeholders Hudak and Kowalski to make a special presentation of a resolution and a check.
Good evening. I'd like to ask, we have in our audience, we have Sulu Kenda, who is the chairman of the Linden Pulaski Day Committee, Pulaski Day Parade Committee, and we have this year's Grand Marshal, Jeff Kowicki. Please come on up. Linden is a very proud community. We're going to hear a lot about that today, but we're also a very proud Polish community with a deep tradition of Polish people who came to this country, and every year there's a grand celebration at the Pulaski Day Parade in New York City. And the Freeholder Board for a very long time has been very supportive of the Pulaski Day Committee and its organization of various cultural events throughout the year. This year is no different, so we have 2 presentations. First, we have a large check that I would like to present to Sulu Kenda, who is the chairman of the committee, which is a very difficult job in terms of the organization of many events throughout the year and organizing the actual parade day activities which take place in New York City, in which we bring many residents from Union County to the parade in March as part of the festivities. So in support of those efforts, we are presenting this check to the General Pulaski Day Parade Committee of $4,000. And Sue, did you want to say a few words about?
I'd just like to thank the board and for your generosity and your support throughout the years. I would love for everybody to come out on Sunday, New York City, to march with us on Fifth Avenue and support us. Thank you.
We're also very proud to honor this year's Marshal, and we also have Miss Poloni, who's not able to be here. Jeff Krawicki is part of a very distinguished Linden family, the Krawicki family. They operate the Krawicki Funeral Homes, and they're really a fixture in our community, very supportive of all different community events and charitable causes. Anytime we need anything in terms of organizing things for the schools, for senior functions, the Krawickis have always stepped up and shown tremendous leadership. Jeff is the third Krawicki to hold the title of Marshal. His daughter is Miss Polonia, but she is a student in North Carolina, and she could not be here today, so her father will be accepting her resolution today as well. But if I could just read the resolution we have here for Jeffrey. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union wishes to congratulate Jeff Krawicki for being the Grand Marshal of the General Pulaski Memorial Day Parade in New York City on Sunday, October 2nd. And whereas the General Pulaski Memorial Day Parade is held annually since 1937 on Fifth Avenue in New York to commemorate Kazimierz Pulaski, a Polish hero of the American Revolutionary War. It is held the first Sunday of October and closely coincides with the October 11th General Pulaski Memorial Day Parade, a national observance of his death at the Siege of Savannah. The parade features Polish dancers, Polish supplementary schools and organizations, Polish soccer teams and their mascots, Polish scouts, and Polish government ambassadors and representatives. And whereas Jeff Krawicki and his family have resided in Elizabeth and then moved to Linden in 1970 when his father, Jacob, established the Krawicki McCracken Funeral Home, Jeffrey joined the family business and became a third-generation licensed funeral director and became manager in 2012. Whereas Jeff Krawicki is the past president of the Essex Union and West Hudson Counties Funeral Directors Association, member of the New Jersey State Funeral Director Association, member of the new National Funeral Directors Association, Polish Legion, American Veterans of Elizabeth, Post 91, the Linden Knights of Columbus, the Ukrainian National Association, associate member of the Fraternal Order of Police, the New Jersey State Law Enforcement Officers Association, a 200 Club member, and the New Jersey Honor Legion. And Jeff is currently serving on the Social Services Board in Linden. And whereas Jeff has a long association with the Pulaski Day Parade, and he has the honor of being Grand Marshal for Elizabeth in 2010, and was recognized and awarded for his dedication as a funeral director by the Catholic Cemeteries of Archdiocese of Newark in 2013. And whereas Jeff is married to his wife Jenna, and they have a blended family of 5 children, including Alexandra, who's this year's Miss Polonia, Jacob, Madison, who was the 2015 Junior Miss Polonia, Thomas, and Victoria. And where therefore be resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union wishes to congratulate Jeff Krawicki for being named Grand Marshal of the General Pulaski Parade in New York City on October 2, 2016. Jeff, congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would just like to, on behalf of the Linden Pulaski Parade Committee, our President Sue Lakenda, and myself, and my daughter, who is Miss Polonia this year, like to extend a special thank you for this great honor, and also to the Union County Board for this generous donation to our association to help us with our expenses that we get, and they've been very loyal in doing this every year for us. And I would just like to welcome everybody, whoever would like to join us on Sunday, October 2nd. We leave St. Teresa's Church at 10 a.m. promptly. Buses are provided, and it's just a really nice day in New York City, and every year I enjoy going and celebrating our Polish heritage. Thank you.
My pleasure. Congratulations. Jeffrey, congratulations. Sir. He's not going to see me for a while.
Tonight we have with us some very special guests that we're honoring in connection with the recent bombing incident in Elizabeth and the aftermath that spread out across Union County. While this event unfortunately serves to remind us of the danger that we still are under in the post 9/11 world, it also reminds us of some of the best of our citizens in reaction to those events. Tonight, we're happy to be able to celebrate with many of the heroes who reported the bomb, responded to the incident, reported the suspect, and helped apprehend him at great danger to themselves. This incident was a model example of bravery, teamwork, and cooperation among agencies in the government and the public that resulted in a surprisingly quick apprehension of the suspect. The Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders tonight is happy to commend, thank, and salute those who were involved. We're going to be following almost a chronological order in honoring these heroes, beginning with Ivan White and Lee Parker, who reported the bombs in Elizabeth, the City of Elizabeth Police Department, who were notified and responded initially to that incident, the City of Elizabeth Fire Department that also responded, and our own Union County Bomb Squad, who responded to the scene. We're also going to honor the Union County Office of Emergency Management, who were at the scene, Union County Police Department, who were involved throughout, our Sheriff's Department, in particular the Canine Squad, who responded to the scene, as well as the Union County Sheriff's Crime Scene Unit. We're also going to honor Harinder Baines of Linden, who reported the suspect. Unfortunately, up until a couple hours ago, we expected him to be with us, but he did let us know that he had a family emergency, so unfortunately he won't be here with us. But we will be honoring the Linden Police Department that made the apprehension, and in particular, Officers Angel Padilla and Peter Hammer, both of whom were injured in that apprehension. Unfortunately, Officer Hammer also is not able to attend tonight. Now I'd like to call up with me our Vice Chairman, Sergio Granados, who really was the person who got this whole idea rolling, to join me in making these presentations.
As a resident of the city of Elizabeth, it was great to see that night, enduring such tragedy, seeing people coming together, seeing our law enforcement, our first responders, our fire department coming together as one to make sure that they unified during this troubling time. You know, when I arrived on the scene, it was great to see also that Mayor Bowledge was there, and we had representatives from all different agencies throughout Union County, and they were there for the simple act of making sure that a bomb wouldn't go off that could injure hundreds of people. So with that said, I would like to call up the first two individuals who found the bomb. You know, yesterday I was at a community meeting, and they spoke about how sometimes, you know, when you see something happening, an hour later or the day after is when you contact the police department. But these two individuals saw a bomb in a bag, and they went straight ahead to the police department to make sure they reported it. So I'd like to call up Ivan White and Lee Parker, please. Would you like to say a couple words?
Yeah, if you don't mind. These last week or so, everybody's been thanking me and commending me, but I personally would like to commend the Elizabeth Police Department, Fire Department, Sheriff's Department, the County officers, the New Jersey Transit Police, the Amtrak Police, the state troopers, the FBI, the Attorney General's office, Linden, Glencoe. No matter what we did, if they didn't take what we said seriously, it didn't mean anything. I want to thank you for your professionalism and your care of our city. Thank you.
Also, I just want to add to what Ivy just said, because it's not about me, because first and foremost, I want to thank God. He
Amen.
employed us.
Amen.
Just two ordinary guys watching the game.
Just to be
and,
there.
we had one card to play. Let's make the done. That was
Exactly.
it. So we did that, and but along with Ivy, I would like to also thank the law enforcement for springing into action, because we only notified you guys. You guys did a terrific job. The bomb squad, where are you? Look, listen. I can breathe a little better. I thank everyone again for coming out and honoring us with this prestigious ceremony award type of thing. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Next, I would like to call what I call my hometown heroes. Deputy Chief Brennan and members of Elizabeth Police Department, come forward, please. They were the individuals who were the first ones on the scene in Elizabeth, making sure that the area was secure and making sure they notified the various agencies to help. Deputy Chief Brennan, would you like to say a couple words?
Yeah, thanks for the county freeholders for holding this event. It was a good night, Linden. I got to tip my hat to Linden PD. Unbelievable job, and just all the agencies involved. Everybody really pulled together.
Tell this guy he stands in the back.
Next, I would like to call from the Elizabeth Fire Department, Director Onofrio Rotullo and Fire Chief McNamara from the Elizabeth Police Fire Department, and responding to the scene. Also, a little bit of tidbit information. While individuals are being evacuated from restaurants, from homes, there's one individual who actually, at a kitchen, left behind a cloth, and that cloth caught fire. And if it wasn't for the work of Chief McNamara and the members of the Elizabeth Fire Department, there could have been a bigger situation with the fire. So I just want to say thank you for everything you're doing and making sure you double check the scenes also and making sure everything's secure. Thank you, Director, and thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for this award. The department is run by Chief McNamara. His men did this. I'm so proud of him. Chief, would you like to say anything?
Again, thank you to the freeholders for acknowledging everybody here. It's all about teamwork. After 9/11, everybody talked about communication, and prior to that, the lack of communication. It just showed that night that information was coming across. Our goal was to make sure nobody got hurt, which nobody did, and the information was able to get passed on the next day, where our neighbors in Linden were able to finally capture the individual. But again, it was civilians that got involved, and that's what we need. We need our civilians to keep an eye out and look around in their community, and this way it gives us a helping hand to catch these criminals and to prevent injuries. So thank you.
Union County's own public safety agencies also played a major role in this incident, once again reminding all of their primary role in protecting the public during Homeland Security incidents. The seamless teamwork enabled the quick resolution of the matter with local authorities. First, I'd like to call up the members of our Union County Bomb Squad and our Public Safety Director, Andrew Moran, and Captain Chris Debbie. That night, the capabilities of the bomb squad were on display as the county deployed one of its robots, which handled the bomb, which detonated. Well, the robot itself was injured, or damaged, if you will. There was no injury to any person. And as a footnote, the robot's been repaired. In fact, Director Moran told me that the company that manufactured it saw the incident on TV and had the part ready to ship before we even let them know it was damaged. I also want to note that since then, I think it was Tuesday or Monday of this week, the bomb squad was out on 2 other calls, one at Kane University and one for another package in Linden, both of which were cleared without problem. But our bomb squad is there every day. And obviously, this was a major event, and they just did a great job, and we congratulate them on that. Good
job. Director, would you like to say a couple words?
Thank you, Chairman, Vice Chairman. Outcomes like this just don't happen. It takes planning. Takes preparation, takes teamwork, and most importantly, it takes dedicated members who are going to dedicate time and energy to train for incidents that may never happen. We hope that never happens. In short, you need the right people in the right places, and I think as the events of Sunday night and Monday morning played out, it became apparent to not only county but the whole country that these gentlemen in uniform are the right people, and they were in the right job. And I couldn't be prouder as director. Thank you.
Good job.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Yep. Now I'd like to call upon another section of our Public Safety Department, and that is Chris Gatturo from the Office of Emergency Management. This is truly a division that never sleeps. A 24/7 response to hazards on the roadways and in our neighborhoods throughout Union County. I would note, as I'm sure everybody knows, there was a large train accident in Hoboken today, and the county and 5 of our municipalities sent ambulances over to that event to help out. So this is more than just helping within the county. We cooperate regionally, and Union County is very proud to be part of that.
Over the past few years, Director Scaturo's department has really grown in responsibility. Not only taking care of all hazmat incidents in the field in the county, but all our hazmat techs, which are here in uniform, are also cross-trained as EMTs and staff our Union County EMS. You might recognize Sarah down the end. She was on that 22nd loop that you saw for All Day Monday on CNN. So they all do a terrific job every day, and certainly this raised the level, and they answered the call. So again, I couldn't be more proud of a group of people. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Under Sheriff Michael Frank, Captain Dennis Burke, and Sergeant Brian Howarth, along with the K-9 unit from the Sheriff's Department. These individuals play an intricate role within law enforcement within the County of Union, and even the days afterwards, they were going throughout different parks, throughout different school systems, and throughout different neighborhoods, making sure they were sweeping to see if there was any more bombs within our county. So I just want to say thank you for everything you do in making sure our county is safe.
First off, on behalf of Sheriff Crine, he asked me to offer his apologies for not being here tonight. He's currently impaneled as we speak on a forum with a group called Mothers Against Gun Violence. So he regrets not being here today on this auspicious occasion where our units are being honored this evening. One of the common threads you folks have heard this evening is about teamwork and training. And during this incident and the days thereafter, and even up until today and yesterday, Our K-9 unit is training constantly to help detect explosives and narcotics throughout the county and assisting in other agencies. And they work tirelessly throughout this incident to assist our team, which is law enforcement and OEM in the county here. And you should be very proud of all the work they do and they continue to do. So on behalf of the sheriff, I'd like to thank you all very much for this honor. Thank you.
Good job, guys. Thanks. I'd like to call up again Director Moran from Union County, as well as our police chief, Chris Debbie, to honor the county police who were involved and helped out throughout the emergency. And as they do every day, respond to emergencies within the county, helping out our municipalities and keeping the public safe. We also have PBA President Detective Evans up here with us. Glad to have him.
First of all, I'd like to thank the chairman, the Freeholder board. It's nice when we can get together and celebrate something good like this. And you've heard it before, and it's a seamless transition of everybody getting together and doing the job that needed to be done. And we couldn't have done this without the training, without the cross-training between everybody, and the cooperation that this county has between fire, police, EMS, everybody. It worked out the best way that it could, unless you talk to our robot, and then I'm sure that's not too happy. But other than that, it couldn't have worked out any better, and I'd like to thank everybody. And my hat's off to Linden PD and the officers that were involved in this. Thank God you're not completely injured. You guys are great. All right? Thank you.
I'd like to call back forward Under Sheriff Michael Burke and Captain Dennis Burke. Under Sheriff Michael Frank and Captain Dennis Burke, please. Along with the individuals of the crime scene unit, which helped out local, state, and federal officials in making sure that the scene was constantly secure. Come on forward, guys and ladies. Give them a big round of applause.
again, we'd like to thank both the Board of Chosen Freeholders, everyone who's out here, and especially all of the first responders. That was at the extended incident. You know, there's a saying, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your training. And what you've seen from the initial response to the incident all the way through to the last projectile being picked up is the level of training has been excellent because the performance was excellent. And we extend our thanks specifically to the crime scene unit for the extended job they did that lasted 4 days after the initial event. Their tireless efforts will help to ensure that this incident is properly prosecuted at both the state and federal levels. So thank you very much to the crime scene unit, and thank you again for everyone coming out.
No pictures, please. No pictures.
Next, I would like to call up from the Linden Police Department, Captain William Turbot, as we honor the Linden Police Department, first as a whole, and then we're going to call up the two individual officers who played such an important role in this whole incident. Would you like to make any comments?
Yes. I'm here representing Chief Parham. He's actually at the meeting with the sheriff tonight. The only thing I can say, we thank you for honoring our department and the men and women who work there. I'm proud of them. I was the patrol captain up until a week before this incident. I worked with them for many, many years. And when the time came, they all stepped up to the plate. Everybody in our department, no matter how far they were, they called up, they were on their way in. Nobody asked them to come in, but they showed up like we always do. All first responders, we all do the same thing, every one of us. When everybody else is running the other way, we're running in. That day, their training kicked in. All of them stepped up to the plate. Veterans like Angel Padilla, Mark Kahana, Pete Hammer, and a brand new kid out of the box, I call him, Officer Guzman, stepped up to the plate that day and they did what they had to do. And they did a great job. And once again, I want to thank everybody who's here. We've all worked together over the years and many different times. See, Mayor Armstead, I see you back there. Thank you for providing us with the right equipment, the training, and the manpower.
Sorry, Mayor, I didn't see you standing in the corner. Welcome. Please say a few words.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. You know, I don't think up until a week ago that we ever thought that we'd encounter this type of activity in our community. You see it happening on TV all over the world, but you just never think it's going to happen in your own community. But it did, and I think it's changed the way we do business forever in this area. I want to thank not just our Linden police officers, but everybody who responded to the situation and the way they acted, the way they conducted themselves, the professionalism that existed. Lives were saved. It was some great policing, a little bit of luck, and some help from God. And all of our men went home to their families that night. So I just want to thank you all for all you've done. And let's remember one thing. We can't say this enough. If you see something, say something. It's very important. You know, our families, I can't imagine. We all have families in this area, our children, our wives, they take the trains. And who would even think to create a bomb that would hurt innocent people. So these men are heroes. You're all heroes. Anybody involved in law enforcement, anybody involved in the fire department, as the captain said, when everybody else is running out, they're running in. So we thank you for that, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Finally, but certainly not least, I'd like to call up Police Officer Angel Padilla. As I noted before, Officer Hammer is unavailable tonight. It's hard not to stand here tonight and think about how different tonight might have been if this incident went very differently. But thanks to all of the first responders who we've seen tonight, and in particular Officer Padilla and the other Linden Police Department officers, this turned out to be a celebration with no loss of life and no serious injury. I think we all know just from watching the TV news and reading the newspapers how unique that really is. And I think it's a tribute to all of those who we've honored here tonight. Officer Padilla was responding to the call from Harry, who owned a bar in Linden, that there was a suspicious person hanging around his bar. And upon approaching the individual started shooting. I think I'm correct in saying that 25 years ago, the outcome might have been different because officers didn't generally wear vests back then. But thankfully, Officer Padilla's vest took the impact. He was injured, but not seriously. He's a 14-year veteran of the Linden Police Department, and I think today a wonderful hero, and we're so happy to have him with us. Thank you, officer.
I just want to thank everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the first responders. And I just want to say that I want to thank especially those officers that came for my aid, which was Investigator Kahana, Investigator Peter Hammer, Officer Guzman, Officer Diaz, and my stepdaughter Camila Espera. And again, to all the responding units, I can't thank the fire department enough. I know I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
In closing, let's give another big round of applause to all the first responders who don't get credit enough throughout our county for all the work they do. They're among the top of the nation.
So now we have our normal, somewhat mundane business to deal with. First, we have communications. Can I have a motion to approve communications, please?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Oh, Clerk of the Board, before you call the roll, please note that Freeholder Carter did come in during the presentation.
Chairman, duly noted.
Thank you. And now please call the roll on the motion.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright. Aye. Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. We now move on to the introduction of an ordinance. Clerk of the Board, please read the ordinance by title.
Yes, Chairman. Ordinance number 778-2016, refunding bond ordinance providing for the refunding of $43,940,000 aggregate principal amount of the outstanding bonds of the County of Union, State of New Jersey, appropriating a sum not exceeding $44,250,000 to pay the cost thereof, and authorizing the issuance of not exceeding $44,250,000 aggregate principal amount of refunding bonds of said county to finance such appropriation.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Freeholder Mirabella, who is Chairman of the Fiscal Committee, to please move the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move ordinance number 778-2016 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law. The final reading and public hearing will be scheduled for October 13th, 2016.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the Board, kindly call the roll.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Next, we have our resolutions that are being offered for adoption. This time, I would open the meeting to the public for purposes of commenting on those resolutions only. Please state your name, town of residence, note which resolution you're addressing, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Yeah, John Berry of Kenilworth. Just a few on this one. 754.
I'm sorry, Mr. Berg, I didn't hear the number?
754.
754, thank you.
The buying the house in Scotts Plains. Yeah, that's the only one I have questions on. First off, it's a residential property next to the park, the Ponderosa Farms. So what's going to be there? Is it going to be rezoned for something, or what's the plan to put it on? And it says to complete the acquisition of. And looking at property records, it looks like this was already acquired twice. August 29th, or it's dated September 12th. It's listed as notice of settlement. It was bought from Robert B. Davey by the County of Union. And was it somewhere around January of 2015? It was also bought from Robert Davey by the County of Union. So that's basically the question. I mean, why was this bought twice? And the other one is, yeah, what is it going to be used for? That's it.
Thank you. Vicki Durbin-Drake, who is the head of our Open Space Trust Fund. I will note, though, the notice of settlement is not, though it's a recorded document, it's just in the process of closing. It does not indicate a transfer of title. So that one definitely did not have anything. It has to do with the purchase, but it was not the purchase. As to the earlier document, I'm not sure. Maybe Mrs. Durbin-Drake.
Good evening, Chairman. Through you, that property negotiation began at that time. A price was reached, and there were environmental issues that had to be cured. They've been cured, so we can move forward with the closing, and it will become part of the Rossi. It will be parkland on the recreation and open space inventory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other members of the public with questions on pending resolutions? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting and request that I have a motion to approve resolutions 2016-744 through 2016-796.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Hudak. May I please have a roll call?
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
I abstain on 2016-763 and vote yes on all the remaining resolutions.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative for all resolutions with the exception of Resolution 2016-763, where you have 8 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Thank you. I now open this meeting to the public for comment on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Please state your name and address and remember the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Freeholders. My name is Andrew Stillifson. I'm from Westfield. I'm here to give you an update on mountain biking access at the Watchung Reservation. If you recall, myself and many other Union County mountain bikers back in August were here, and we discussed 2 themes with you. It was transparency and access. First of all, I'd like to thank the Freeholders, especially Chairman Bergen, for keeping their words on being transparent. As promised, the county has scheduled a meeting with the Union County mountain biking community this coming October at the Trailside Center to discuss the draft master plan for Watchung and the plan for mountain biking access. In addition, before this meeting, we have scheduled an introductory meeting with the Director of Parks Department, Mr. Zuber. At this meeting, we hope to have the consultants who drafted the master plan, as well as the president of JORBA, that's the Jersey Off-Road Bicycle Association, so we can all get together for a meeting of the minds before the more formal October meeting. So a big thank you to Mr. Zuber for his efforts in putting together this meeting and his willingness to meet beforehand. So commend Freeholder and the county on continuing your transparency. The second issue I wanted to discuss is access. As you know, the current master trail plan has set aside certain areas and trails on the west side of the Watchung Reservation for biking and hiking. We will, of course, bring this up at the upcoming meetings, but again wanted to respectfully urge the Freeholders and the county to permit access to these trails immediately. The current plan calls for access in spring of 2017. That's 6 months from now. We've been waiting almost 3 years for access to Watchung, and it seems at this point there's no good reason for keeping it closed until then. And we also want to ensure open and equal access for all Watchung trail users. So finally, I just have one question for the Freeholders, which I hope you can answer. That is the process regarding the master trail plan. I understand it's a draft trail plan. It obviously could be subjected to change, but if you could just please describe the process and timeline for how it becomes final and when that might happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Zuber?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the resolution approving the master plan was approved this year, February of 2016. It is not a draft, but like any master plan, it can be changed after discussion, and that's not saying we're going to change it. We're saying we're going to listen to the riders. We do have our engineers coming to both meetings that we have scheduled with them, and we're going to take everything into consideration. The process, if approved, has to take at least 6 months, we believe anyway. If we meet with them on the 20th, we can't be out there on the 21st. I was out there earlier this week. Trails have to be reblazed. There was 4 or 5 significant weather activities in the last 5 years. A lot of those trails need a lot of work. And I think it wouldn't be safe if we just said, okay, here's what you like, here's what you're going to have, and go out tomorrow. So that's why we're looking at 2017 if we do approve this plan.
Thank you, Director. Please step forward.
Hi, thank you for your time. My name is Matthew Schwabel. I live in Cranford. I would first like to acknowledge the great park system that Union County has. I'm an avid runner. My route takes me through Echo Lake, Lenape, Blackbrook, and Nomahegan parks, all of which have paved paths open to anyone pretty much doing anything that doesn't have a motor. On weekends, I run a lot with my kids in a jogging stroller, and by the time we're done, oftentimes they're just repeating "on your left" for a good part of the day. They think it's some kind of greeting because of all the cyclists that go by and say "on your left." The parks are inclusive, and that's how they should be. I'm glad we have them. That being said, I have experienced the occasional cyclist ride by without providing the courtesy of letting me know they were behind me, dogs not on leashes, giving my kids a quick scare. There's some smokers. There's people in Union County College that treat the parking lot in Nomahegan like an extension of the Union County College parking lot. That being said, these are examples of a small minority of people not exercising good judgment. The general public should not and is not penalized for the actions of a few. Cars are still allowed to park in Nomahegan. Dogs are allowed to be walked in Lenape. It's common sense. After 20 years of being mischaracterized by a local select few, it's also common sense to drop the stigma against mountain biking and recognize it as a legitimate activity in Watchung Reservation. In addition to being an avid runner, I also enjoy riding trails. There are many parks in New Jersey that have successfully implemented mixed-use trails open to anyone riding a horse, hiking, or on a bike. The trails I've been to this year alone are Lewis Morris, 6 Mile, Dickinson Mine Preserve, Chimney Rock, and Alamucci. I've gone all of them to ride. They're all great trails, and I've only had positive experience when I come across other park visitors, regardless of whether they're hiking, on horseback, or on bikes as well. The only problem with these places is that they're a significant drive away from Union County. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old at home, and it's hard to find time to go riding. Packing up the car and driving an hour away to go riding is not an option that many people have too often, including me. It is time that Union County allows and encourages their residents to have the same trail access that is commonplace outside of Union County. There's no reason why Watchung Reservation, with over 2,100 acres and 45 miles of trails, cannot be as inclusive as other New Jersey parks of all sizes with mixed-use trails. The fact is, this has already been demonstrated. When the signs came down this spring and summer, along with many other people, I witnessed firsthand that Watchung Reservation does have great mixed-use trails. I've not had one negative interaction with anyone I came across when riding. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Hikers were excited to see more people enjoying what Watchung has to offer, especially a few who needed help finding their way. The Watchung Reservation Master Trail Plan, adopted 7 months ago by Union County, allocated the existing trail network within the western third of Watchung Reservation for mountain biking and hiking. Now is the time for Union County to acknowledge and welcome all Watchung Reservation visitors looking to get outside and enjoy the outdoors, whether they're on foot, on horseback, or on their bikes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Please step forward.
Hi. My name is Brian Matula. I'm a Union County resident, lived here all my adult life. And I'm here to talk about park access, as you can guess. For 20 years, Union County has said mountain biking has been banned at Watchung Reservation. But over the last 2-3 years, we've been told that they will work with mountain bikes to get trail access. And we've seen progress to some degree. There was a meeting in February. There's planned meetings in October. And now we have a finite date of spring 2017, which I'm very glad about. But here's the problem. It's now September 29th. I don't see why we couldn't ride a lot of these trails right now. If the county indeed is planning to allow mountain biking, why not grant us park access, at least limited access, to the areas that they intend to open, as well as to all the other park trails in the county that didn't have any no bike signs posted at all until this August, when the new ones went up. There's no pragmatic reason to oppose mountain biking. Other gentlemen have explained this, and at the previous meeting in August. Basically, anywhere else in the state, if you take a map of New Jersey and you throw a dart at it, you'll hit a place where they allow mountain biking. Yet somehow when, and I'm not trying to be flippant here, but this is how I see it. When I cross over that arbitrary imaginary line that separates Morris or Somerset County from the place where I live, it's as if all of a sudden somebody thinks that I lose my ability to ride safely. Or maybe others are so struck dumb by the sight of my awesome bicycle that they're unable to put one foot in front of the other safely. I mean, the laws of physics aren't different in Union County, let's face it. The only thing different between a trail where you're banned and a trail where you're not banned is that some uninclusive person put a sign there. The only thing different is the rules imposed upon us by the governments. And let's face it, it's time those rules that were put in place 2 decades ago were ended. When I last stood in this room, I heard many good things, but one of the things I heard was one of the freeholders say that they only became aware of concerns about the ban in recent years. With all due respect, sirs, I find it hard to believe that the county government created a policy and then forgot about it or its effect on the citizens. But whatever the reason, perhaps freeholders have not been thinking about mountain biking or mountain bikers for the last 2 decades. However, I assure you that we, the mountain biking voters, have been thinking about you for decades. We think about you when we have to gas up our car and drive for nearly an hour when there is a wonderful park within biking distance just in order to ride our bikes. We think about you when we miss days of riding at a time, after work or other occasions when, as other people have said, you don't have time to drive to another county. We think about you when deciding whether or not to purchase new equipment, and is it worth it with the limited amount of areas we have to ride. And you know what? The local businesses, some of whom are run by our friends and other cyclists in this area, are the losers. We think about you when we drive through the park. I drive through Watchung every day on Skytep Drive on my way to work. Every day I see signs telling me I am not welcome in a place that I've come to enjoy and care about. And I think about you. And I have to tell you, to be blunt, my thoughts are not positive. But it doesn't have to be like this. John F. Kennedy was famously quoted as saying that an error does not become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. The error of this ban has persisted far too long. And while it's all well and good that we do have a finite time limit on when access may begin, it's still far too far in the future. For the past 2 years, citizens have been told time and again, just wait. The subtext is, why are we so anxious, as if that's not reasonable. It becomes very reasonable when you understand that we've already been waiting for 20 years. Again, the last time I could ride in the park without looking over my shoulder, the Twin Towers were still standing, Bill Clinton was president, and you can get a cheeseburger for 89 cents. This is not acceptable. The time for fair trail access and fair government policy is always and always will be right now. Thank you. Hope we can move forward on this.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to address the freeholders?
Good evening. The timing's actually rather impeccable.
I'm sorry, can we have your name and town of
Oh, yeah,
residence,
sure.
please?
My name is Peter. I'm from Mountainside, actually a longtime resident of Union County. I grew up in Linden, moved to Scotch Plains, and now I'm Mountainside. And it was kind of odd because I wasn't planning on being here, okay? But I am Polish, born in Poland. So you guys had the ceremony here for that. That was pretty cool. And you also had the police officers and first responders here, which is kind of near and dear to me because 9/11, I was working at 2 World Trade, 69th floor. So all these people here that you celebrated, you know, it was like almost ironic that it happened, you know, because being part of that makes me really understand how important the first responders are. So it kind of pales in comparison to why I'm actually standing here and talking to you guys, because I'm here talking about mountain biking. Meanwhile, there's people saving lives, you know. And I find it odd that, you know, we have such tragedy going on today, and here we have to talk about whether or not some people can ride trails on their mountain bike. You know, it just seems like the two are worlds apart, but yet we still can't ride our bikes there. I grew up in Mountainside, right, Scotch Plains, right down Glenside Avenue, right from Watchung. So I spent a lot of time there, so that place is like my background, my backyard. And to not be able to ride there, not the best thing. So I just don't understand why it takes so much red tape to just allow people to ride their bicycle in some trails. We allow hikers. There was a gentleman here talking about how Watchung may not be safe. Well, if it's not safe for bikers, why would it be safe for anybody else? The past couple of years, there have been some tremendous rainfalls, and I hike there as well. And I've noticed the difference. I mean, the rain and the water and everything has really put a toll on the trails. However, there's organizations like Jorbo who would offer their assistance in helping to maintain the trails and to fix them. So I just wanted to come up here and thank you guys for all that you do. I didn't realize that this place really does these wonderful things, and you know, the timing was really impeccable. So I hope we can come to a resolution, and you know, hopefully you guys can, you know, say, hey, you know what, let those guys ride the bikes. Like, really, is it that serious? And then you can come up with a plan and make it all official and sign documents and cut the red tape and all that good stuff. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I'll close that portion of the meeting, and there being no other business before the body, I will call for motion to adjourn.
Freeholder Marks.
I forgot. I'm so anxious to get it here. I'm sorry, freeholders.
That's right, Chairman.
Freeholder Kowalski, do you have any comments tonight?
Just would like to thank everyone who came to tonight's meeting. Thank you for your comments. Also add my thanks to all of our first responders from Elizabeth, Linden, Union County. As has been said, it could have been a tragedy here in Union County, but the gentleman from Elizabeth who saw the bomb did the right thing, set everything in motion. Our first responders did what they needed to do, and the result is that it was a robot that lost an arm and not a person. So, and also thanks to all of the first responders who reported to Hoboken today as well. So thank you, Chairman. One other note here, Freeholder Wright and I attended a what we call an area plan meeting that was for senior citizens that was held in Union this past week. And this is where the county meets with representatives from from senior communities throughout the county. And we have such a broad array of services for our seniors. I can't even begin to describe them all, but our Division on Aging is doing a great job. I thank Freeholder Wright for her job as the liaison to the Division on Aging, and encourage everybody who is interested in senior services to have a look at our website or call the phone number of the Division on Aging, which is 888-280-8226. That's 888-280-8226. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Hudak.
Thank you, Chairman. First, I want to begin by personally acknowledging those first responders that were here this evening from the various agencies, from Elizabeth, from the City of Linden, from the Union County Police Department, Sheriff's Office, Emergency Management. I am in awe of their expertise in the execution of their duties. You know, it was comforting to me when the news first broke on Sunday evening that there was a bomb placed near the Elizabeth train station where my wife and I had traveled on the Northeast Corridor the night before, so however long it was there, that really hits home. But to seeing individuals we work with every day going about their duties with such serious and diligence, it does give me comfort in this county, the high level of first responders we have. At times, there are those who are critical of county government, specifically when it comes to law enforcement. And I would say this most recent set of circumstances underscores the value of our Union County Police Department, specifically their training in the area of the bomb squad. And it's a great example. There was another resolution that didn't get a terrible amount of fanfare this evening, that a dispatch center shared service agreement with Fanwood. That is just another example of how the county is working together with the municipalities to save them money in these vital tasks, but also provide a tremendous level of service. And we see this with the UASI grant in terms of bringing in high-level training and equipment into Union County for our police, for our firefighters, for our EMTs, and it was all on display in front of the national view. So it was just a tremendous amount of pride that I have, I know the board has, for their efforts. And I also, you know, Pete Hammer and Angel Padilla from Linden, I know very well. I know Angel very well. And, you know, I'm so thankful they were there and they were able to apprehend that individual. And it just shows you that they were willing to put their lives on the line. And we have to make sure for officers who do that, you know, he was wearing Kevlar, but that the wounds did not stop. And, you know, they're going to need care in the community. We have to remember the sacrifice that they made. So that's very important. I also, you know, I just want to respond a little bit to that. I missed the August meeting. I know that some folks came to discuss mountain biking, and I wanted to offer some, you know, response to some of the comments that I heard this evening. I for one, believe that there should be an evolution in terms of, you know, recreation in our parks, and I welcome the addition of mountain biking, with the caveat that it is done correctly. It is, I think that the Parks Department is going through with a matter of diligence to make sure this is done correctly, because I mean, I heard there's no good reason to do this. You know, what's the risk? There's many other people who use the park for purposes that have been long established. There are horses, there's people on horseback walking through, and I'm sure all the individuals who came up to speak tonight are experienced, responsible mountain bikers. But when we put rules and we put regulations and we identify trails and we establish policies, it's not for the expert user that we're thinking of, because you will go about this recreational activity with an abundance of care. We're thinking about someone who might not have that standard of care, and we have to make sure that these rules are put in place. And so for me, and when I first got on the board, I had a number of friends from some of the towns that you referenced who said, why don't we have mountain biking in this wonderful reservation? What's the problem? And you know, I talked many times with Director Zuber about it. And I think they're going about it and doing a good job in establishing a plan. And if it takes a few months to make sure there's a safe way to implement this, then I think it's well worth it. I think you'll like the result in the end. And we ask for your patience, because it's a beautiful, our parks are beautiful, but also, as the one gentleman said, you know, you're jogging in the park, and there's many bikers who are probably on those trails very responsibly, and there's people who don't care that someone's jogging with their family. And we have to make sure we establish policies that make it safe for everyone to use our parks to the best of our ability. So I do appreciate you coming out, and we do ask for your patience. But I think that there is a great opportunity for these activities, as well as new activities that might become available for residents in the future, because we should not be stagnant. We should think about what the public wants in terms of the usage of space. But please be patient. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Carter?
Thank you, Chairman. Just as Director Moran said earlier, it does take a team. And I want to take an opportunity to commend all of our public safety family in Union County for the work that they do. It seems as if all of them have their niche, they have their expertise, they have what they're specializing in. And it really does take an opportunity for us to lend that when we do have the occurrences that happened last couple of weeks come about, that we're able to be there for the towns and the municipalities and be able to partner and work with them to come to a resolution that gives us less individuals being hurt and all, and we can really make sure that we're saving lives. And it takes a lot. It takes a special individual to be able to do that, to partner, to work together to make sure we put that. So I commend and I congratulate all of our first responders, all that our police, our fire, our sheriff's department, really working collectively together. And I think it's, I commend the Freeholder Board for making sure that we are having the resources put into place to make sure that we have the trained expertise and we can offer the services also to the county, because our safety of our citizens is the #1 priority. I also like to talk about an article that came out yesterday in the U.S. Department of Education. They announced the 2016 National Blue Ribbon Schools. On behalf of the Freeholder Board, I'd like to congratulate the staff, faculty, students, and parents of the Academy for Performing Arts in Scotch Plains for being selected as a National Blue Ribbon School for the 2016. The Academy for Performing Arts was one of only 11 New Jersey schools to receive Blue Ribbon designation. The award speaks to the strength of the educational foundation that the students, staff, and administrators have established at the Academy. Now, this is now the 5th time a Union County VOTEC school has been named a Blue Ribbon school. The Magnet High School was named twice, Academy for Information Technology was named once, and UC Tech High School was also named once. If you'd like to get more information, I know we have many students who would love to attend there. Please make sure you go to our websites or visit the VOTEC school website, ucvts.tech.nj.us. Thank you.
Thank you. Freeholder Jallo?
I'll take my time, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Freeholder Estrada?
Just want to let my freeholder colleague know that you be careful about banking because you may not get it all back. I have a separate account over the last 17 years that one of these days I will definitely use it up. Well, first of all, I think I want to speak about the individuals who we're honoring tonight, and it goes back to things that are very, very important in our society. From the two gentlemen that started out, so it's so critical. I guess the campaign gets through that if you see it, if you see something, say something. That is extremely, extremely important. Because we have experienced different things in this situation that took place. One is that we have finally gotten through the hurdle of communications. Over the last numerous years since 9/11, we have been investing money in terms of improving the communication between all departments. And I know for a fact, in discussions with our director, that in fact this time they were able to seamlessly go from one department to the other without any problems. And that just proves to you that the investments that are being made, that makes sense. All our individuals are extremely trained, and the training has proven to be very, very fruitful. I know that they interacted with all the other federal agencies, and I know that we're not just standing by holding the empty bags, but we were actually in the process helping them achieve their goals. And this is very important because not only the fact that this takes place, but the fact is that we get more additional training on the things that are important. For anybody who thinks, who lives in Union County, that this is it, sorry to say, there are many indications that this county, like many counties in this country, may face similar circumstances in the future. And one of the things is that we need to be very vigilant to ensure that we're ready and we are prepared to handle whatever needs come our way. Fortunately, this time we were very lucky, but we just got to keep training to make sure that we're prepared for the future. On the issues of the mountain bikers, well, I've been here for numerous years. If anything I can tell you is that it's going to happen, okay? I don't think that there is anybody here who doesn't believe that we need to work toward that goal. But chill out, relax. It will come. That's very important. But you have to understand that government looks at things from a different perspective. We would like to be able to tell you, tomorrow we start this process. But there's some work that has to be done. I know that you think, well, maybe we can open half the trails, not the other half. But that's not how government works, unfortunately. I'm one of those who believes in tomorrow, and many of my colleagues can tell you. But the reality is that we will go into it if that's what the general consensus will be, which I don't think we're too far from that. And the other reality is that we all have to collaborate in this issue. So don't stop buying parts for your bicycle if you want to, for your bike if you want to start, get ready with your equipment. But I think it will happen. So you can quote me on that one, okay? And there's only one other things I want to talk about, and it's, if I look at the events of the newscast for the last few weeks throughout this country, we've had a serious situations that have taken place. I'm sure if I use the terminology Black Lives Matter or Lives Matter, it's something that is very important and has been striking us overall. And I ask myself the question, have we been doing our due diligence to ensure that situations like this are not seen in our own municipalities? And we have done many things. For example, our prosecutor's office has started a program whereby police officers are wearing body cams. And believe it or not, this is something that is very important. As I see for example, the chief of police in Charlotte saying that he didn't want to release the pictures. You know, we live in a world that if you don't believe there's a picture for everything, you got to be crazy, because everybody's taking pictures, everybody has everything downloaded to the internet. And I can truly tell you that lives do matter. We need to find a mechanism so that we can avoid the circumstances that are being done. Hopefully, I know through training, a lot of these things can be avoided. And it is our intention, has been our intention all along, to ensure that we have, because we already have a top-of-the-line law enforcement agencies throughout this county, to make sure that we also do diligence to ensure things like that may not happen here. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Finish my comment.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can only echo some of the comments of my colleagues and thank the first responders who were here. It was nice to see them all under one roof here from various parts of county government, the sheriff's department, county police, our first aid responders, fire department in Elizabeth, and certainly the police in Elizabeth and the Linden officers. It just was great to have everybody here in one spot to thank them, as well as the citizens who saw something and said something. So it was great to be there and share and honoring them. I also want to point to one of the resolutions that we passed tonight too, based on the presentation we received last week from Mary Ann Prestonick and Sam Crane of the Pre-K Our Way group that are working hard with the state legislature to urge them to keep their promise and provide pre-K classes and education for 3- and 4-year-olds that was started many years ago and never finished. We're the first county to endorse that plan, and I'm going to ask our clerk to make sure that all counties get notice of our resolution and encourage them to also pass legislation and support for Pre-K Our Way. I want to talk to you also about something near and dear to my heart, and something Seb Dalia and I collaborated on many years ago, and that's the Columbus Day flag raising event that will happen on October 7th at 1 o'clock here on the steps of our courthouse right out in front. This year's keynote speaker is State Senator Nicholas Scutari. who represents the 22nd District here in Union County. Senator Scutari, as many of you know, is a great state senator, head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and former Freeholder colleague of many of us here. He'll make a great speaker, I'm sure, and he has a great story to tell dating back to his roots in Italy and civic involvement of his family. Filomena Caccaro, the owner of Cialamici, the Italian Language and Cultural Center in Cranford, will speak. It will also honor 9 chapters of UNICO District 10, which is co-sponsoring the event. Italian Americans continue to make extraordinary contributions to rich, diverse fabric of America, a country we all love and which our ancestors helped discover and build. We look forward to seeing everybody and Marie Oki singing next Friday at 1 o'clock. From my standpoint, I made some comments last week about the bikers and their opportunities up in the Watchung Reservation, and I think Freeholder Estrada said it very well. You have the support, and I think it's just about safety at this point and making sure that there is a safe conditions for all people using that. But I think there's room for everybody, and I think it's coming, and I'm excited about it. I don't know that I'm going to be biking, but I do think that people that like that sport should have the opportunity. So I think we're all on the same page. It's just we're getting there. So thanks, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my comments.
Thank you, Freeholder. Vice Chairman.
This past weekend, I got an opportunity to attend Union County College's Gone Wired in partnership with the Union County Office on Women, which is the initiative of yourself, Chairman Bergen, and it was great to see so many women taking place and participating in programming and creating game applications. So definitely want to thank you for creating that brand new office and division. That's been a major benefit to residents of Union County. Thank you very much.
Thank you. County Council, any comments?
No comments, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
County Manager. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Freeholder, right? I apologize. I don't know where my head is tonight.
That's all right. We're okay with that. I also would like to offer a special thank you for those groups and individuals who were involved with the response this past week, because I think that was so important to us as a county. I would also like to announce that nominations for the 25th Annual Women of Excellence Awards are now open. The awards recognize women who've made major contributions to the quality of life in Union County, whether as volunteers or in a professional capacity. Nominations for the Women of Excellence Awards are open until December the 1st. The event is sponsored by the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders and the Union County Commission on the Status of Women. And I would like to thank my colleagues for continuing to support this important program. If there is a woman in your life who has made a difference to the community, submitting her name for consideration is a wonderful way to honor her accomplishments and to inspire others. For more information, visit the county website, ucnj.org. That's ucnj.org.
Thank you, Freeholder. County Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of comments. I would like to offer my personal thanks and congratulations to all of our law enforcement officers. You know how I feel about you. You allow me to attend your training sessions and your briefings, and you keep me posted on what you do, and I try to provide support and encouragement. Mostly I try to stay out of your way and let you do your job as the professionals that you are. It's very important, I think, for people to understand that you do this work every single day. As was mentioned, we've had a number of calls over the last couple of weeks. They turned out to be a hoax, but we go out every single time, and we'll continue to do so. Also, I'd like to thank the members of the community, not just the 2 individuals that brought this information to law enforcement attention, but also the comment that they made, that they appreciated the respect that they received from the law enforcement community. And that's something that we work very hard in Union County to foster through many areas. Our Department of Human Services, our Sheriff's Department, our prosecutor. We work very hard with the community. And can we do better? Yes, we can do better, but we're working on that. I'd like to thank also the Freeholder Board. Whenever I or Director Moran or Sheriff comes and makes a request for additional equipment, additional training, they say yes. They approve it. And I think that was critical and continues to be critical in our efforts to keep Union County safe. Also, I'd like to thank our U.S. Senators and our congressional delegations that represent Union County, because a lot of the money that we get for equipment and things that we need come from grants on a federal level, and we're very fortunate that we received their support as well. So there are lots and lots of people to thank. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, County Manager. I just want to mention two quick things. I want to congratulate our County Clerk, Joanne Rijapi, and her staff for receiving a Trailblazer Award. This is a national award that recognizes government recording offices that are leading the transition to electronic documents. E-recording provides for much greater speed and efficiency when it comes to logging and retrieving information. So this is an important effort that improves public service. Since the beginning of last year, Ms. Rajapi's office has accounted for thousands of e-recordings, and we congratulate them for that award. I would also like to take a moment to briefly update the public on our initiative for this senior year called Seniors in Motion. This project is providing passenger vans to 18 of the 21 municipalities in Union County for use by seniors. These vans will help to supplement our paratransit service and enable more seniors to live independently and stay connected with their communities by attending various events. So we're glad that we've had such a good response from the municipalities, and we have awarded all 18 municipalities that requested it a van, and those will be delivered in the near future. That being said, thank you all for coming, and now can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
Opposed? Thank you all.
Okay.